I'm here with Jason. He's been here in China as an ESL teacher for almost a year now, and he's going back, so we're going to ask him a few questions. First off, Jason, why don't you tell us something about yourself? Maybe one thing.
What can I say? I'm from Montreal. I've been teaching ESL to adults back in Montreal, and I just took the leap and said, let's try this out. Let's try the teaching abroad thing. So I jumped off the cliff and took the plunge.
First off, what prompted you to take that jump, take that leap, leave the West, leave Canada?
Yeah, part of it was just a change. I needed a change. I was in a bit of a sort of a, what's the word? Sort of
rut.
A bit of a rut, I guess you can call it. Yeah. Just the day-to-day, the normal stuff. I needed a change. I needed to sort of, get out there a bit and change things up. I needed to change things up a bit.
So how did you come to the decision to China? Why China?
Why China? China basically fell on my lap because I was starting to look at postings, do some research online, and this is the one that sort of showed up sort of in bold colors, so to speak, and I pursued it a bit further. There was a Canadian element to the school, and then I just said, let's see what, it was China. So I said, let's just try this one out. It fell on my lap.
Well, there certainly is a lot of opportunity in China, which is why I came. I didn't have a lot of experience, and so I thought, they need them, no experience necessary, and so I ended up here. And when you first got to China, what were your initial impressions?
Oh,
it's going back, 10 months now?
Yeah, or 9 months. I mean, look, it was a major adjustment, obviously. What were my first impressions? What can I say? Look, I hit the ground running. I started school within 36 hours after I landed.
Right.
I had to sort of start observing, not teaching quite yet, but observing.
Right.
So I hit the ground running. I really didn't have much time to absorb China. I really just flew right in,
Okay.
I remember being at the airport, landing in Shanghai for the first time, and then walking out, getting my luggage, which never appeared. I had to. So that was a bit of a hassle. My check luggage didn't appear.
Right.
So that was the first sort of anxiety. Anyway, that worked out. It came a few days later, but then I was being picked up by Ryan, my ESL director. So I walked out of the exit and into that laneway of a packed mob holding up these signs. I mean, that was one of my first impressions. That was something.
Just like in the movies, where they got other people holding the signs.
Exactly.
What has been your most memorable event here in China? What are you going to take home with you that they're like, I really cherish this memory or this event? Or
I don't think there's one event. I really don't think there's one event that sort of does that. It's more about the entire experience and the people I met over time rather than one thing. There really isn't one thing. Look, there's been some great. I've traveled. Both my parents have come, so I've definitely done some good traveling through China. I've been to Shanghai, Beijing, Guilin, and a few other spots. Those were some great experiences. The traveling, really the city, seeing the different parts of China. And then, of course, the people I met. I came here not knowing a soul, and then, the people that you meet becomes your family.
Yeah.
So that's definitely in my heart.
There's definitely, you get here and there is a limited pool of foreigners that you really can, speak to until you get some language, skills, and are able to make some Chinese friends. So, So, what has been the most difficult thing about living or working here in China?
There's been a few difficulties. There's definitely been several challenges for me. What can I say? God, where do I start?
Rat?
The rats. Look, yeah, I'm not good with rats circling my bed at night. I'm just not, and that did happen. So, yeah, that was not pleasing, appetizing. The isolation out living on campus. I chose that. I knew it was going to happen, but it turned out not being what I wanted to do. You know, finding it hard to escape the scene. You know, you want change, man. You want to get away from your day, get away, but that wasn't really possible. You know.
Right. Yeah, our situation, we live at the school, we work at the school, and it's a 10-minute ride, 8-minute ride, into barbecue or somewhere. So it could be a little bit of an inconvenience sometimes.
Yeah. This is a small town. This is okay.
Right.
Yeah, granted, we're close to this small town, but I was expecting Xinjiang. I was expecting a big city. So that's another letdown. Yeah, I was expecting city life.
Right. On the eve, so to speak, of you going back home, what are your plans for the future? You've done a year, now what?
I have to reassess. I have to just get back home and figure things out once again. I'm going to readjust, just readjust back home. Lay low for a bit, figure things out, and then just start looking for work once again. I haven't. It's going to be in the teaching world, I'm sure.
Okay.
Editing, teaching, along those lines. But stay in Montreal for at least a good little while, and we'll see what unfolds.
What's been the driving force, I guess?
To leave.
Are you missing home? I'm done with China. I'm done with the rat. What's been the driving force?
Yeah, initially it was a year. That was the plan.
Okay.
It was the school year. That was
1 year. See how it is.
Exactly.
All right. Year's up.
There you go.
Nothing eventful happens that said, all right, let's do another year. It's
Exactly.
I've done my year. And
in a nutshell, that plus the challenges.
Right.
It's not completely for me.
Right.
China. What can I say?
It's not for everyone. Yeah. How about teaching ESL? Would you do it again in the future? Maybe not China, maybe another country, Japan, Thailand, Africa. I mean, ESL is a big field, and there's a big demand in the world, for English.
I definitely would consider it. I definitely would. I have this experience under my belt to know more what to expect and what to look for. So definitely, I would consider it. Absolutely. But on the other hand, it takes a lot of work and a lot of energy to move shop, to move your life. There's no question about that.
It's somewhat of a nomadic lifestyle, because you can only move with what you can carry. Do you have a lot you're taking back with you?
I mean, it's probably those one checked baggage,
right?
Another one that you roll, and probably 2 back sacks. It's probably four pieces.
Okay.
So.
Sure. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sure I can expand a bit on what the driving force was to leave. I mean, it's also the high school. It's also teaching high school. It's my first time. The kids, the group, the 30 kids,
Now, how are the Chinese students compared with students in the West?
Well, that's the thing. I taught adults. Predominantly, right? So that's it. I really can't compare. So yeah, but high school also isn't totally for me either.
So then, going back to Canada, you're not looking at teaching.
Not high school. No. Exactly.
Um, I had it on there, I lost it. If you could go back to the beginning of the year and change a few things, what would you change?
That's a good question. Hindsight being 2020.
Right. So if there's a new person coming, what advice could you give them? Say, don't do this.
Well, I think I would have
do this.
I think I would have clarified certain things, i.e., my contract a little clearer. I would have clarified that. Look, it's a huge learning curve. It's unavoidable. But I guess if I were to give someone some advice, would be, look, I hit the ground running, like I said, but I also left in a panic, in a rush, because it was late. It was a real rush to get me here.
The school year had started, so
That's right.
they needed some new teachers, and that's common. We're going into next year. I think we need one more teacher for middle school. You know how many they need for the high school? If they need,
I don't know the exact numbers, but I was hearing that they need.
Yeah. And so, could be we don't have those slots filled until September. Anything in particular you're going to miss about China? I can always edit it out,
Look, the people are great. The good qualities, the great qualities are really great, if you know what I mean. They're really special. There's really a lot of sweet, genuine people up here. So that's one thing I'll miss. The beauty of the country, it's a gorgeous country. There's no question about it. The big cities are incredibly stimulating and vibrant. There you go. In a nutshell, that's probably it. Yeah.
Where are some of the places that you've visited in China?
Correct. Quick list: Shanghai, Beijing, Guilin, and then while there, I took that boat ride along this river through sort of along these peaked hills, which was gorgeous, beautiful. Suzhou, gorgeous city.
Suzhou.
Where else have I been? Nanjing. There you go, basically.
Right.
Yeah. And look, it's gone so fast. It's in 2 weeks I'm leaving. On one hand, it was a long, tough year. There's no question about it. It was a grueling year. It really was. Weather, school, work, a lot on our plate. My troubles with adapting, not troubles, but my normal adaptation learning curve was definitely a challenge. On the other hand, it's sped by. It's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks left.
Yeah,
So
2 weeks left. What kind of emotions are you experiencing? Counting down 2 weeks.
Definitely counting down. Definitely looking forward to leaving and getting back
excitement,
home. There is.
It's the beginning of a new chapter.
Exactly.
Any sadness of a chapter ending?
I haven't felt that yet. I'm not feeling that yet. I'm sure I will. I'm sure once I'm back, I'll be missing the people I've met, the friends that I made. I will be. There's no question. Not yet, though. No regrets. It definitely was worth it. No regrets. Absolutely. But I wouldn't do it again. At least not for the. I'd visit again. Absolutely. But I wouldn't. I don't think I'd live here again.
Okay. All right. Well. All right.
Good.
Well, thanks for your time.
All right. For sure.
All right.
Thank you.